Hey all, known all here. The SMG4 Karan arc has finally concluded with the release of the latest movie, Silence of the Cats, bringing the plotline revolving around Karan and her family to a close, at least for now. The first story arc of 2025 has been fantastic, a huge step up from the Mr. Puzzles arcs from last year, which suffered from underwhelming conclusions, major plot holes, and countless other writing issues. I genuinely think the Karan arc could be one of the best SMG4 story arcs ever, up there with the anime arc and Cosmology Saga, a character-focused, low-stakes arc and movie entirely focused on side characters. It's genuinely crazy to me that we saw such a thing from recent SMG4. My confidence in the writers has definitely been restored ever since I lost faith in them with Wpnz 2024. I'm very excited for what the second story arc of the year may entail. Unfortunately, we already got a major tease for what's to come next in the form of the cliffhanger ending from Silence of the Cats. Before discussing my theories about you-know-who's return, perhaps I'll make a review of the Karan arc and Silence of the Cats in another video after this one, but basically, all you need to know about my thoughts is that I loved the whole thing and I had no major complaints. There were some missed opportunities and a few oversights in the writing, but other than that, no major complaints. I just hope they sort out the character appearance problem soon, resolve some more loose plot threads, and everything would be golden for the show in my opinion. Just like I had predicted, Mr. Wpnz ended up surviving the events of the movie, though he ended up badly damaged, with all his robotic limbs being torn off and broken. When his face was initially revealed in the movie trailer, I was wondering if I had made a mistake with my countless predictions, where I suggested he was almost certainly the father of Karen's kids. But fortunately for me, I did end up being correct in the end. It turns out the genetics he passed on to his kids was the ability to transform their limbs into weapons, which is why they didn't resemble him at all with their appearances. It's probably best to ignore the obvious question of what the fuck Mr. Wpnz is supposed to be though, since the kids being able to manifest weapons from their bodies suggests that Mr. Wpnz's machinery is actually biologically a part of him, making the endings actually somewhat gruesome. Man, I just thought he was supposed to be a shark or something. I guess we're never gonna learn how the hell this freak of nature came to be. Just like there's certain someone Mr. Wpnz meets at the end of the movie who somehow survived replacing his head with a TV. As soon as I saw the black and white font, I knew it was Mr. Puzzles talking to Mr. Wpnz. Beat up and at his lowest point, Mr. Wpnz is spoken to by Mr. Puzzles through a giant screen. Puzzles remarks about how Mr. Wpnz would have seen better days, which is obvious enough looking at the state of him. But then Puzzles says something interesting. Cat got your tongue. I feel like Puzzles' use of that specific idiom suggests that he knows about what transpired during the movie between Karan and Wpnz. Puzzles then explains how he knows what it feels like to be close to achieving something magnificent before having it ripped away, leaving him broken and alone. Obviously, Mr. Puzzles is referring to his previous 3 defeats, the last of which saw him thrown into prison and solitary confinement, left to rot alone. Actually, let's quickly recap the development of Mr. Puzzles' character last year, since it's very relevant. After being obsessed with creating entertainment and owning fame and high ratings, Mr. Puzzles comes to the realization by the end of Wpnz 2024 that ultimately, all of that is worthless compared to something he had lacked for almost all of his life: friendship. Mr. Puzzles had come to this realization through his friendship with Leggy, but with Leggy apparently being gone, Mr. Puzzles is now once again all alone, left with nothing but an inanimate object that he has dubbed Leggy 2.0. As that makes apparent, Mr. Puzzles has also gone a little crazy, stemming from his deep desire for companionship that he currently lacks, being locked up in solitary confinement and all. In the cliffhanger from Silence of the Cats, Puzzles doesn't seem nearly as unhinged as he was at the end of Wpnz 2024 though, so it's possible they could end up retconning his newfound insanity, though I hope not, as it opens up new possibilities for stuff to do with his character. Anyways, the reason I recap Mr. Puzzles' development is because we see that he seemingly sympathises with Mr. Wpnz, who is currently at his own lowest point, and so Mr. Puzzles extends an offer of friendship to Mr. Wpnz, which is in line with Mr. Puzzle's new desire for friendship. Coupled with Mr. Puzzle's previously expressing a desire for revenge against the SMG4 crew during the ending of WotV 2024, Karan definitely being included in that group, and it is safe to say that a Mr. Puzzles and Mr. Weapons team-up will be coming very soon, likely for either Arc 2 of 2025, which will release at some point during the summer, or during the WotV 2025 arc, which will happen around September-October time. Mr. Puzzles is obviously being set up to be the mastermind of this future villain team-up, and I could definitely see other antagonists joining the duo in the future. Marty is the most obvious candidate, considering that he is currently roaming around free, and also holds a grudge against the SMG4 crew and Karan, wanting to take revenge against Mario for abandoning him in prison, and I doubt he's been happy with the rest of the crew foiling his schemes over and over. I also think it's possible that Arc 2 of 2025 could see the introduction of another new villain, who is then also contacted by Mr. Puzzles at the end of the arc, leaving the big team up for the WotV 2025 arc. But considering how Mr. Puzzles and Mr. Weapons have rather similar names, I could totally see the big team up just consisting of them as a duo and no one else. I don't know what their plot for revenge may look like, but I do know that it will initially begin with Mr. Weapons breaking Mr. Puzzles out of prison. It's safe to assume Mr. Puzzles' body is still locked up in prison, since if not, we would probably have seen Mr. Puzzles approach Mr. Weapons in person, rather than through a screen. My best guess as to why Mr. Puzzles was able to watch and interact with the outside world is by transmitting his consciousness into other screens, as we've seemingly seen him do this before. And it's not like the guards fought to remove Mr. Puzzle's antenna to stop him transmitting anything out of prison. I assume that Mr. Puzzles, feeling all alone in prison and desperate for revenge, went out in search for someone to befriend by observing the outside world through all the screens, leading to him eventually finding Mr. Weapons and witnessing his downfall. I'm very interested to see how Mr. Weapons and Mr. Puzzles' dynamic plays out. I could see Mr. Weapons being annoyed and weirded out at Mr. Puzzles' insanity, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Puzzles would be overly clingy with his new friend, or something to that nature, but I suspect Weapons would go along with Puzzles' desires due to him being interested in getting revenge against Karan, even if it means putting up with the antics of Mr. Puzzles. But I could see the two eventually becoming genuine friends, which could lead into neat character development for both characters maybe. But in regards to Weapons specifically, I especially hope that his development eventually leads into a redemption. He is not nearly as villainous or irredeemable as Mr. Puzzles, and was shown to genuinely care for Karan and the kids. There is definitely room for him to redeem himself, though whether Karan or the kids would eventually accept him, or if he dies in a heroic sacrifice after turning on Mr. Puzzles or something, I could see either one happening, and both possibilities could work as a conclusion for his character arc. Lastly, I'm kinda annoyed we got no Mr. Weapons merch, yet for some reason we got a Mr. Puzzles figure. Not that I'm complaining about finally getting a figure for Mr. Puzzles though. So my final theory I guess is that we will get Mr. Weapons merch for the next arc we see him in.